So we have to try to limit the false, fake monks and teachers who are just using public relations kind of advertisements to make themselves big. They have techniques to do all that. They have enough high tech. They gather enough people to help them to do all these kind of things. But the thing is, I'm worried about the general effect. You see, the more negative power gathers together like that, the worse that country, whoever they are, will become. More disasters, more trouble in the country, more war pressure from other countries, for example, like that. That's what I'm worried about. But I think, I wonder if I should tell you this. Just one moment, I ask if I'm allowed to tell. Okay. Just last month, we had a new initiation ceremony, and it was 390 people who came into our family as brothers and sisters initiated into the Quan meditation practice. And more are coming in some days in March. So actually people are turning around. I think the Supreme Master Television is also a good instrument in reminding them. And now, oh God, your brothers and sisters, they're so incredible. Now they make trillions and trillions and trillions of Supreme Master Television max and the most important prayers and put it on the internet. It's getting better all the time. So impressive. And even while you're watching normal Supreme Master TV, there are trillions of prayers or screens, around it. Just a thin line, very thin line around your screen. This contains trillions of other screens of Supreme Master Television. Same screen or even the most important prayer to God. Oh, I'm so happy. But of course, I'm not that patient, I wanted it done yesterday already. I wanted this word, peace and vegan, before I was even born physically. But we have to be patient. And some of you asked me why we have to thank God for world vegan, world peace, and we still have some war. No, you don't see. A lot of peace is coming already. Yemen peace, Syria peace, and Gaza stop fighting, and other areas, etc. And it is said that Hamas is going to leave Gaza, and maybe America is going to take care of Gaza so that there will be no war between them, between the Palestinian and the Jewish people. And there are many other advanced talks of peace for the Russia and Ukraine war, led by President Trump and his teamwork. I'm happy that things are getting better. At least for the Americans, things seem to be brighter now for the people. So they don't have to waste so much of their hard-earned money on taxes just for some privileged, rotten few. I'm so glad about that. And even in Vietnam, I saw that the country has changed a lot. They take care so much about wildlife, animal, people, and there are many laws, many organized tactics to track down bad criminals and for protection of the animal, people, etc. I was so pleased. I was surprised to read all that in the Vietnamese news. I don't have time to read all over, but the important ones. And I also asked my team members in Vietnam to check out more news for me because I'm alone. I don't have a lot of time to check out all the news. And also maybe they check it better in their own native country. And I'm so happy that Vietnam has become a much more civilized country in the treatment of people, of the citizens and the animal people. It could be better, of course, but it will be better in times to come. And if our world has vegan and peace as a norm for all the countries, then we will see Eden on earth, definitely like that. So even though Maya, the negative power, tries so hard to enslave our planet people and to provoke more killing, more war, the positive power is still very strong and getting stronger all the time now. And last month, I have destroyed one entire world. The world that produces fighting, killing energy, that gave ferocious influence over our planet, flaming up more war and related destruction to our world, and making people and all beings here suffer terribly, tremendously, more and more, extra more than their karma would have caused. The eliminating of the fighting world will reduce murderous energy, making our world stronger to resist war and other destructive entities, so to arrive faster to peace and favorable events. That is called the fighting world. As I told you, within our world, we have many combined worlds together. That's why the karma is so confusing, mixed, and strong and powerful. And the positive working group agents like us are working very hard, and it's difficult, but we won. We won. We won. A lot of winning. We won over also some other worlds and fierce groups as well. Lots of work, but all worthwhile. We are all deeply humbled and grateful for God's grace. However, still too many worlds are combined together in this world, so it makes things complicated and not easy to handle them all, so just one at a time. That fighting world was even so near to me, or attacking me all the time. But finally, they're all gone, and I will work with heaven to sort them out, as well to send the remnants of some of their souls, if they still have souls, or have souls at all. We will have to sort them out and take care of them. I did some already, but there's still some little left over till the end. That is not very big word, sorry. Let me remember. Only 300,000 entities in that world, called the fighting world. But they make too much disturbances and stir up wars wherever, whenever they can. We have many different worlds. For example, the punishing world, the black magical world, and all kinds of words. A lot. I don't have time to to list them all out for you. No need. No need. Just know that if we happen to stray our attention or desire or actions toward the same characters as any of the beings in those worlds, then we will be dragged there to live or to stay and endure all what happens in that world. So just keep God in mind, be virtuous. So we have been winning. And of course you ask me why we thank God for world vegan, world peace, and we do not completely have world vegan and world peace yet. Yes, it's already done. World vegan, done. World peace, done. Whatever is decided in the highest order is very fast. Less than a nanosecond. Done. It's just that when it should manifest into our world, it takes a long, long, long time. Of course, I'm also as frustrated as you are, but what to do? Continue to pray like that, to thank God, because it's already done. It just takes some time. Just to screen through obstacles in many lower levels and through this world. We still have to thank God anyway, as if world vegan, world peace is already there, because it should be there. Just being obstructed by space and time until it's manifested in this world.
亲爱的师父和无上师电视台团队，你们好！感恩伟大的师父对所有众生的满满慈悲大爱与无尽的付出，感恩无上师电视台团队的不懈努力和无私奉献。2023年3月19日，我做了很神奇吉祥的梦，梦中看到师父跟天堂谈判成功了。谈判的时候，师父写了满满一页协议条款，而且很认真地念给我们聆听，说地球永远不会，也不允许被毁灭了，但是人类会一直被进化到纯素世界来临，以及世界永久和平为止。感恩师父赐予我如此美好殊胜的梦，希望这个吉祥之梦成真，也真诚地希望人类快快醒悟，变成纯素者， 来拯救自己和地球。祝愿每个生灵都找回自己本来拥有的慈悲与博爱，爱护所有动物族人，爱护我们的地球家园。祝愿师父永远美丽、健康、喜乐。祝愿无上师电视台团队吉祥如意。中国以平敬上。
Hearing Master's message about the 3 options that Master had, I felt an urge to write and share the following inner visions with Master. I know Master will make it through and will still be here with us for many more years to come. I do strongly believe that because I saw how powerful Master's light is, as it was shared at the last 7-day retreat in Taiwan or Formosa in 2019, Master's extremely powerful light could cleanse any karma, even the world's karma. It's just that heaven could not allow Master to use it because humans, as of now, are not worthy enough for Master to do so. In one inner vision that happened in the spring of 2012, I saw there would be peace on earth. All the angels and heavenly beings were all so happy, and as they were descending from heaven to earth to celebrate the important occasion, they were heralding peace on earth at last. I also read that there are some people who were able to access the future either through NDE or near-death experience or hypnosis. One person happened to access the year 2100 something and noticed that people on Earth by then will no longer have animal people products in their diet. It's very hopeful for a vegan world. All in all, I have a strong faith that Master will still be here with us for many more years to guide us back to our original home in heaven. I earnestly wish that all the Buddhas, great bodhisattvas, saints, and sages in all directions, and all the Godses will always find ways to protect and help Master to fulfill Master's mission to save this world. Eric from the United States.
Etc.
The physical domain is different, just like the soul is pure and simple and mighty, powerful. But the soul cannot manifest it toward the outside world because we have the mind, the brain, the physical, and the preconceived ideas which are taught and have influenced and contaminated our being so much. That's why sometimes people think good things and do good stuff. The next day, they do the opposite. Just because sometimes they can get through the obstacles, sometimes they cannot. That is the thing, okay? So heaven always listens to our prayers, just as we don't listen to heaven's answer. Because sometimes the people just want it, what they want. They don't know that what they want is not good for them, but they don't listen to heaven's advice. Even I sometimes have to listen to heaven's advice. Even about where I sit, just where I sit, and what I should eat that day, or how I should handle such and such situation, like that. Things are complicated in this world because people are contaminated by the bad influence of the physical atmosphere. And Maya makes it worse and worse. When we first came here, when the souls first came here, from the Brahma heaven, they were pure. They didn't eat anything. Our ancestors did not have to eat anything, did not have to do anything. They could fly around, living in peace and happiness. And slowly, the nosy quality gets the better of them. They see this and that, things from the sea, and the things that grow on the water and grow on the land, and they begin tasting it. Begin tasting one thing after another, and then they got used to it. And then if they don't taste them, they don't feel good. And then they start to taste more and more as the habit grows. Then they eat more and more, and then they become heavier and heavier. And they can't fly anymore. They cannot communicate by telepathy that much anymore. And then they begin to fight with each other for better comfort, for more food, etc. And that's how we got worse and worse. And then we have some golden age period of time But then we use the knowledge to make something bad. Just like people know the atom, and then they make atom bombs and destroy so much. And the influence, the bad effect is still wreaking havoc on many of the victims of those lands. For example, in Japan, Hiroshima, some people still suffer the effect of that atom bomb that dropped on them so long ago. And now, they did not learn from that. They're still threatening. Those strong countries still threaten the weak countries with atom bombs. Yeah. I'm telling you. We have more priests, more popes, more monks, more nuns who are supposed to keep God's teachings alive, reminding people to do good, to be virtuous. But they themselves are evil. You know that. All the reports are everywhere on many countries nowadays. But still nothing is done. And then some governments, instead of taking care of their people, are using the tax money to make war, to kill more, and to destroy more beautiful places, beautiful people, to make food harder to get, dearer to buy. People are living in poverty, in hunger, in thirst. But the leaders of those governments, they have nothing to worry about. They always have money. And if a big urgency comes, they just drop into airplanes and run to safety somewhere else. Only the citizens suffer. And thanks also to many of the priests and popes and monks and nuns of different religions who didn't do much good either. Instead, they're leading people astray or taking the faith from them, making them believe no more in God or less in heaven, making them become more mundane or more bad in the heart, more faithless, more troublesome for the country and for the whole world.
Và dựa vào nhà Phật giáo Nguyên Thủy đó, thì rõ ràng đó, hình ảnh địa ngục chỉ là một phương tiện để giáo dục đạo đức thôi. Bởi vì tất cả đều tái sinh ngay lập tức, thì còn đâu mà tồn tại ở dưới địa ngục. Niệm Phật có giảng sanh cực lạc Tây phương được hay không? Câu trả lời nếu đúng với lịch sử và dựa vào bài kinh thứ 18, kinh Trường Bộ là không, vì Tây phương cực lạc không có thật.
Pope Francis was the candidate of the St. Gallen lobby, whose object is a change in church teaching, a relaxation of discipline on sexual morality. And this is what Pope Francis is implementing.
We have come to a point that even simple people with little knowledge of doctrinal issues understand that we have a non-Catholic Pope, at least in strict sense of the term.
In his homily at the Casa Santa Marta, Pope Francis explained what paralyzes Christians with a very graphic example.
Non rischiare, per favore, no? La prudenza, I comandamenti tutti, sì, è vero, ma questo ti paralizza.
The Francis effect is to disarm us. What he's doing is a threat to our faith. And it's a threat to the church. And it's a danger for the salvation of souls. The Pope has commanded priests to absolve the sins of women who've committed abortion and doctors who have performed abortions. Well, the impression given is that you go in, you don't have to be sorry, no repentance, no amendment of life, you can just go in and be absolved. Well, it doesn't work that way, as we know as Catholics. You have to be sorry and you have to promise to change your life. That's necessary.
Il Vaticano era stato informato di questi preti pedofili?
Era stato informato
perché le vittime già nel 2013 nel 2014 avevano chiesto la lettera al Vaticano e non avendo ricevuto risposta in tutti questi anni abbiamo deciso di andare a Roma e consegnare personalmente la lettera al Papa. Ha chiesto perdono per quello che è successo e ha detto di pregare per lui e basta.
Giuseppe Concilio also attended the meeting with the Pope.
Mi è rimasto rosso nel viso e ha detto perdonami e ha fatto una preghiera. A me la preghiera non mi serve perché ormai la mia vita è rovinata.
Pope Francis, earlier this year, he drew widespread criticism, defending a Chilean bishop accused of covering up for that country's most notorious abuser priest.
Vigano claims he informed the Pope himself of McCarrick's misdeeds, and the Pope ignored this and restored McCarrick.
We have prominent cardinals taking an anti-Catholic stance on moral issues, of which we thought was settled. We have the Holy Father himself seeming to support them, to give his blessing to them.
If we want to know the love of God, we look at the crucifix. There we meet a man who is tortured, died, who is God, emptied of divinity, tarnished, who became sin.
The Attorney General's grand jury report identified more than 300 predator priests and more than 1,000 victims. It also triggered a wave of hundreds of previously unknown alleged victims to come forward and share their stories.
The abuse was a life-changing incident that just sent my life in a totally different direction. He would invite altar boys to go on fishing trips, a sleepover, and the only place for you to stay was with Father in his room, because that's all there was Father's double bed. I'm not going anywhere until he got off me, and that's when I crawled out of bed and laid on the floor in a fetal position. And it was a crime that happened to us. Since when should the church be allowed to handle criminal cases? Why isn't it in front of the judicial system as it should be?
Można powiedzieć, że świat dziecka w tym momencie runął. Się posypał. Poszedłem do domu, powiedziałem to mamie. Moja mama mi nie uwierzyła, ponieważ było dla ludzi w tamtejszych czasach było to do nieuwierzenia. Nie było to po prostu coś, co mogli przyjąć naturalnie. I ja automatycznie już to parę miesięcy po tym przestałem jeść. Trafiłem raz, drugi, trzeci raz do szpitala. Wpadłem w anoreksję. I było tak, że ksiądz się pojawił na kolędzie u nas. Ten sam ksiądz Srebrzyński. Byłem na kropówce w szpitalu. To był stan taki, można powiedzieć, prawie że śmiertelny.
You hurt a child that deep, it's a spiritual rape. And you are, like, branded for life. So from now on, it colors everything. I can't imagine something happened to me in life that would hurt me like this has. It's the kind of wound that stays no matter how strong you are, no matter how much therapy you get, no matter how many loves you have, or diversions or excuses. It's a spiritual rape. It really is. It really is. It doesn't go away. It steals your faith. I envy people who have faith.
I stopped going to church.
You lost your faith?
Lost my faith. Yeah. You see how the church in Boston tried to sweep things under the carpet, and you read about cases in this country and other parts of the world. I lost my faith. Yeah.
etc.
The ripple effect of the bad influence we cannot overlook. If you are a good master, then you always have to worry, take care of yourself, protect yourself, look over your shoulder all the time. And after you die, there will be a big temple from the tax-free money, and then they will live in luxury and have all the respect and worship from the followers, and make the followers even forget God. Just worship them instead. This belly of the priest is full of blood and flesh from the animal people, innocent animal people. Their bodies are a shower with dirty things that come out of them upon the abused innocent children even.
A report into sexual abuse by the French Catholic Church has estimated that more than 200,000 children were assaulted by clergy over the past 70 years.
The latest study says more than 1,600 German clergy sexually abused children under their protection, and that in the last 70 years, there have been at least 3,677 victims.
As a direct consequence of the systematic cover-up by senior church officials, almost every instance of child sexual abuse we found is too old to be prosecuted.
Now to the shocking accusations of sexual abuse at a Buddhist temple in Santa Ana. 8 women have now come forward saying that they were assaulted as children at the temple. They say the temple had a culture of abuse.
Etc. Oh my God. It's really hell. They make religion become hell. I can never talk about that enough, because they don't just destroy people's faith and destroy children's future, but they also destroy the good energy on this planet and make people suffer more. More blindness, more deafness, more dullness, more wisdomless, by following these kinds of priests and monks and nuns. Oh dear God, please. I don't want to talk about that anymore, but I just have to, because I'm worried about the planet. I'm worried about the world. And I'm aware that if the age limit is 100 on this planet, I don't have much time. I have only 3 decades to go, dear God. So if I don't tell now, when will I tell? It's not good always being polite and sweet talking. You know, you have to really speak out the truth, even though the truth is so ugly, so brutal. But we have to clean that up. So even if the cancer belongs to your body, you have to cut it off in order to live on and to do more good things with your life. You have to survive. So this world has to survive. If we cut out all those cancers of religious leeches, religious virus, religious bacteria, harmful bacteria and viruses, they're worse than COVID-19. COVID-19 may be treated, maybe one day is gone, but this religious virus will stay there. It seems like forever if we don't treat it. If we don't treat these viruses, they will be contaminating others. And then what kind of society will we have? Money is just poured into churches or temples, building them for this kind of virus to stay, to live, to be well fed and well taken care of and well worshipped even. And they will make the faithful forget God, forget Lord Jesus, forget Buddha. Just worship them and feed them, donate everything to them. They even tell them to sell their houses, go live in huts elsewhere, and give the money from selling the houses to the monks. The monks of the Buddha's time, they were going out for alms just because they went out. They also taught people. In those times, we didn't have internet, we didn't have telephones, we didn't have cars, we didn't have many facilities to spread the Buddha's true Dharma. So that's the convenient way to do it, by the way. But the monks nowadays are having so good lives, having good cars, and even good private helicopters or private airplanes to go out or go anywhere. Then the faithful will have to pay for it. And then what do they do? Just talk nonsense. Like don't understand anything about the Bible, about the sutras, about any other sutras. Like even don't understand much about the Quran, about the Guru Granth Sahib, about the teaching, sutras of many other ascended masters who sacrificed everything they had in order to try to rescue human souls. But they all treated them like criminals, yes. And nowadays, other kinds of killers, who use their teachings, twist them around just to earn a living, just to live in luxury. Oh my God. Even Thích Nhật Từ says that they can use sex toys and even drag the Buddha in it, saying the Buddha even did not forbid it. Buddha knows nothing about it. When the Buddha was there was no such thing.
Trong nhân quả, nếu các bạn sử dụng các dụng cụ để hỗ trợ cho cái thỏa mãn tính dục của mình, cũng không có tội gì hết. Đức Phật cũng không sẽ nói là cái tội.
What kind of monk shamelessly uses his mouth to eat people's food and donations and talks like that? Huh? He has nothing better to do than talk about sex and money. You can see what kind of monks they are, huh? All they worry about is just money and food and big temples and dragging more and more Buddhist believers into their group, so to feel like an important monk. Talking nonsense like that, huh? Even brings the Buddha into the sex toy stuff. Shameless. Talking like evil. Okay. Now you all know already. Actually, it's all over on the internet. I don't even have to tell you, but I'm worried that some of you don't know. I have to tell you. Because if you follow this kind, like Trần Tâm, Ruma himself, or like Thích Nhật Từ, or whoever else, I forgot all their names, I don't want to remember even, then you will go to hell. Truly, you will go to hell. Because they make you forget the Buddha, forget the teachings of the Buddha, of the world-honored one, of the enlightened, worshipped high being like the Buddha, like Jesus Christ. If you follow these priests, if you follow what Pope Francis says, you will go to hell. I'm telling you this. It is not good for me. But I have to. If I cannot enlighten you, if I cannot explain the truth, the reality to you, what would I do with my life then? I don't have a lot of years left. You think 30-something years is a lot of time? No. I just blink my eyes, look back, and now I've been preaching for 40-some years already. And it feels like just yesterday. So I look into another 30-some years, it would be just like another, blink of an eye. So please, all of my so-called followers, God's disciples, please remind yourselves every day that time doesn't wait for anyone. Do something with your life. Be more concentrated on God, on heavens. Meditate more consciously on the Quan meditation method, which I use my blood and tears and energies to transmit to you by God's grace. Every day you have to thank God for that. It's the most precious gift that you can ever receive from heaven, from God, through a master. Without that, it will be thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years, eons of time until you can reach your true home. And you will be drowning in this physical, delusional existence again, and again. Do not blame God for not listening to our prayers. Blame ourselves for not listening to God's advice, God's wisdom. You have to go inside to listen to God's wisdom. You have to go inside to see God, to reach the light, to reach the currents that will flow you home, upward. There's nothing more precious than the Quan practice. With that, you can exchange it for heaven. But with all the position, the fame and fortune in your physical life, you cannot exchange them for anything like that. You don't even know what heaven looks like. You don't even know what God is. So the Quan method is the one that gives you all that. Why? Why can't you get it? Because it's within you. I told you many times. That's why I don't take any money for my teachings. I don't take anything from you for my teachings, because I know that you have God with you, that you have this treasure within you, that the light and the teachings of God you can access if you know how. But of course you don't know how, because it's a secret, it's blocked, it's locked, it's treasured, it's kept unretrievable without the permission from God, through a completely enlightened master, through a true master. Because without that, even anybody who repeats the same instruction from me is not the same. When I send a Quan messenger out to you, I give him, her, that power of authorization by the permission of God's grace. Otherwise, you won't have anything. Just delusion from Maya. And you will go to hell for it. Because it's not from heaven, it's from hell. That's why I don't take any money for my teachings. I don't take anything from you for my teachings, because I know that you have God with you, that you have this treasure within you, that the light and the teachings of God you can access if you know how. But of course you don't know how, because it's a secret, it's blocked, it's locked, it's treasured, it's kept unretrievable without the permission from God, through a completely enlightened master, through a true master. Because without that, even anybody who repeats the same instruction from me is not the same. When I send a Quan messenger out to you, I give him, her, that power of authorization by the permission of God's grace. Otherwise, you won't have anything. Just delusion from Maya. And you will go to hell from it. Because it's not from heaven, it's from hell. Hell also has light. Even, for example, lower level heaven, like astral level, has like dark light, green light, and orange light from hell. For example, like that. Hell also has so-called light. And the astral level, which is lower heaven, also has light. But they're not as brilliant and pure and clear as the higher heaven's light. But the higher the heaven, the brighter the light, of course. Therefore, if you are in the lower heavens and you go to the higher heavens, you cannot bear that light. You cannot. And normally you cannot go to see the higher heaven if your level is lower anyway. But just in case, if you are there, you cannot bear that bright light, too bright. Because the beings there, they don't have figures like we have the body. They are just light. And if you're not high enough, you can't bear that light and you can't see them either through the light. But if you're a similar level to them, you can see them as kind of individuals, but all with light, all in light, bright light. So everything without a completely enlightened master is fake, is false, is delusional, and it will take you back to hell for eons, and then maybe you will come back again as animal people or humans or trees or whatever, rocks even, stones even, again, and again, forever. Recycle in the bin of delusional garbage. So please, do meditation with all your heart, with all your love for God, okay? Love God only. Nothing in this world is worth for you to even remember. It's just that we have to live here and we have to do it in order to continue to survive, to pay the gift and take of karma, and also to bless the world with our spiritual, unconditional, selfless energy with the grace of God. That's all we have to do. It's all we have to remember, really. Everything else is just secondary. Wishing all of you the best again, in the name of God, in the mercy of God, in the compassion from heaven. And may you all be well, and may you all always remember God, and remember the luck, the blessing that you have in this lifetime, that you can encounter the Quan method, to see God, to hear God directly from the time of initiation and every day of your life. Every second of your life you live in God's love, God's protection, God's blessing, God's grace. And forever, even after you leave this physical body, you will go straight to heaven. You will go back to God, your true home, and never ever hear of the word suffering, not to talk about having to undergo suffering yourself. All will be bliss, all will be happiness, all will be blessing, unbelievable, unmeasurable, incredible love that you know some of the taste already in your meditation and daily life. But when you truly go back home, wow, there are no words in any universe that can describe that bliss, that happiness, that love that you experience every day. People who die temporarily, they call it near-death experience. Just have a glimpse of heaven. Just see a little bit of God. I mean, symbolically. They don't really see God, just the manifestation of God. And they feel only the love in those moments. And they still don't want to go back to this world already. Imagine if you live there every day. And they went to only lower heavens even. Imagine if you go to the higher, blissful dimension, like Timkotu's New Rim. Oh, some of you know some of the tastes already, even from a lower heaven. Not too low, but lower than Timkotu's New Rim, for example. You still know what it's like already.
Con từ hôm thiền đến nay đấy, ngày nào con cũng sống như trong thần thoại sự. Hôm nay cũng thì con thấy có rất nhiều những chúng sinh thiên đàng họ xuống, họ bay xuống. Có những cái bông hoa đó sư phụ ở địa cầu không có, nhưng chúng hình như là biết nói, màu sắc rất rực rỡ. Rồi có những cái ông sao á, nó phát sáng màu hồng. Rồi có những cái tia nó gần như là tia hào quang, như nó xếp thành những cái hình để nó đến nó bay đến với con chẳng hạn. Rồi có rất là nhiều sư phụ. Có những cái nó như là những cái đầu tiên thì con nhìn thấy nó như là cái hộp vuông thôi. Và sau đó gia trì cho con rất là nhiều. Khi mà con chú tâm vào cái lực lượng đấy thì nó càng lớn hơn và càng lớn hơn. Thì lúc đấy thì con hiểu nó không phải là cái hộp mà nó là giống những cái cây tâm linh phát sáng. Con nhìn thấy một lũ thần nhưng con không nhìn rõ mặt. Họ bay, họ bay sát rồi nhìn mặt con. Xong bắt đầu họ bay đi thì con nhìn thấy họ mặc quần áo màu sắc rất là đẹp, cộng thêm tóc của họ thì màu hạt dẻ sư phụ, rất đẹp. Con cảm giác như lúc đó hình như là thiên đàng, những ở đó họ đang muốn chào đón con vậy.
我打坐中，灵魂曾去到东方净琉璃世界，那里景象庄严辉煌，与相对应的阿弥陀佛西方极乐世界或极乐净土差不多。西方极乐世界或极乐净土都是黄金铺地，东方净琉璃世界则是钻石铺地。这种光亮钻石，近看是软软的，像是会缓缓呼吸，有生命似的，很有弹性。不像地球的坚硬钻石，建筑物都是用通透亮彩的软钻石与琉璃、黄金、宝石构成，七彩七宝，极尽华丽光亮又通透。东方净琉璃世界，就连莲花也都是琉璃透明的，以白色和纯蓝色的莲花居多。居民可以乘着这样光亮、漂亮的莲花到处游玩。
One time in meditation, you keep me going up, I think that's level 4, because that is very dark. And then I was talking to the people up there, and then suddenly I looked back, and then I saw the whole half the planet is light, power. I received right away. I said, oh, that's my master. I should go there with my master. And then I fly back. It's far away. I saw you so beautiful. And then you wear the king clothing, and then it's a dragon cane. It's very nice, and then a lot of power from you. And behind you, some disciple, I think a disciple, but they have a light too. I saw you, and you go to the big mountain. It's a very dark mountain. And then you close the mountain. When you open, I saw a lot of light. And I opened, and you came in, and then I could come in too. I went to another planet. It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful planet.
More beautiful than the last one.
Much more than that one.
Just more beautiful all the time.
So I went up and I saw the moon and I saw the sun. I passed them and I went to another planet. So I checked that one. It's very, very light, beautiful. And then I came in, I saw all the diamond, all the rose, everything is very, very beautiful. I checked, you taught me if you go to the heaven level or the Buddha level, you walk in, it's no shadow. So I walk and I tested, it's no shadow. I said, oh, this is where it's a planet.
慈悲的师父再一次让我上天，飞到我上次在半空中所看到的那片光亮彩色的佛土，在那些笼罩着光圈、高等、采光耀眼、漂亮之极的房子里，我看见了我膜拜、想念几十年、身着白衣白帽、大慈大悲、救苦救难的观世音菩萨。在过去风雨飘摇的坎坷生涯中，我们全家老少多曾观音菩萨时刻护佑和慈悲救度，才得以挨过一次又一次的难关。现在我知道观世音菩萨就是我现在亲爱的青海师父。写到这里，满眼的泪水模糊了我的视线，喜悦感恩的热泪滚滚而落，难以形容对您无尽的爱意与谢意，我敬爱的师父
etc. And that's why you keep being grateful to me, to the Guanyin method. Be grateful to God, okay? I'm grateful to God every day for allowing me to show you God's grace through the Guanyin method. You should also do the same, okay? Thank God every day. Be grateful to God. Be thankful to all heavens and earth, to all noble beings, saints and sages, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, who help you, which you don't even know. But you also help others, which you don't even know. That's the way. To do without doing is truly the enlightened way. It's truly the way of God's children. I love you so much, and I'm very proud of you. I saw you go out do charity, helping the meek, the poor. I saw you going out distributing Supreme Master TV Max cards and leaflets and organizing vegan festivals, organizing screenings of our films like Loving the Silent Tears, Real Love, and others. I saw all of your doings in cold weather, in necessary situations, in disaster zones. I'm very touched and very proud of you. I thank God that I have such people in our Kuan Yin family. And I thank you also so much. And I'm always grateful for Supreme Master Television's teamwork. My team, in-house team and remote team, they're doing all their best. They sacrifice their precious time working with me day and night to help this world. May God always protect you, noble team. May God bless our world so that it will become heaven on earth. Amen. And I thank you for your love. My team, my God's disciples. Thank you all for your love. And happy Qinghai Day. I told you Qinghai Day is your day. So happy Qinghai's Day. Talk to you next time. God loves you. I love you.